Let me tell you a story. It starts somewhere between a boomer's garage full of dusty clutter and a group text amongst your siblings yelling about mom's will that actually doesn't exist. But this isn't about the boomers, not really, despite what the headline of the video said. This is about us. This is about Generation X and Millennials. We're watching boomers crash into old age like a slow-moving tsunami, and we're next. Hi, my name is Jen. You have found my channel where I talk about all things Generation X or whatever I feel like talking about. Welcome. I want to start this video off by saying, number one, I understand that no generation is a monoculture, and that includes the baby boomers. If you have a different experience, please let me know in the comments below. What I'm talking about is in generalities and what the majority are going to deal with, majority being 51%. What are we going to do about a problem like the boomers? That could be another name for this video. Maybe I should first define who the baby boomers are. And the baby boomers are some of the oldest people living today. They were born between the years of 1940 and 1959. These are the people I'm speaking of specifically. It was a generation where a lot of freaking people were born. A ton of people were born between those years. I think officially the baby boom was considered started in 1945 and it officially ended in 1965. But for our purposes, we're going to talk about the years 1940 to 1959. And if you ask somebody who was born in the baby boom generation how old they feel, you'll get all kinds of crazy answers. You'll get them saying things like, oh, I only feel like I'm 30, or in my mind, I can't believe that I'm more than 45. Meanwhile, I'm in my 50s. I'm 55 years old. And let me tell you, I feel every minute. I feel exactly my age. I can't lie to myself. Not with these aches and pains, not with these knees, not with my back aches. And I certainly don't have the energy to stay up much past 8:30 p.m. these days. The baby boomers, though, they are gold medalists in age denial. It's almost like they think if they don't acknowledge aging, then it doesn't exist. Like aging won't find them. Newsflash, it already has. Let's talk about retirement, or more specifically, the lack thereof. 2/3 of baby boomers do not have enough money saved up to maintain their lifestyles in retirement. The median retirement savings is $202,000. That's not retirement money. That's please don't let the car break down kind of money. And 43% of people between the ages of 55 and 64 have nothing saved for retirement. So, of course, they're still working. And divorce didn't help. Or rather, should I say, divorces, plural. One household becomes two, assets are split, throwing kids, remarriages, adult dependents. And now you've got two people who can't afford to stop working. The top of the corporate ladder, it's a little crowded right now. I once worked with a salesman in his 70s. Nice guy, but he walked like his bones were held together with duct tape and ibuprofen. He'd say all the time that he was going to retire soon, but soon never came. Not only did he need the paycheck, he got his entire identity from his job. He didn't know who he was without it. And that's the typical boomer mindset. Their entire identity is their job. They are their careers. And there's the kicker. They're not stepping down. They're clinging to their leadership roles as if it's some kind of life raft. And Gen X, we've been waiting. We've got the experience, we've got the skills, we've got the battle scars, but boomers simply won't let go of the mic. Millennials can't even reach the corporate ladder at this point because the top is all jammed up with silver-haired executives who think that mentoring is stories about back in my day, we used to be able to sexually harass our secretaries and it was fine. You simply can't promote new leadership if nobody ever leaves. Boomers might look younger than their biological age, but there is definitely aging going on underneath the hood. You will have issues with arthritis, osteoporosis, sarcopenia. There's also the whole adaptation to technology issue that we're encountering with the baby boomer workforce. Boomers and tech, it's an adventure. They will swear to you that the website is broken when really all they needed to do was scroll down to find the next button. Baby boomers think they're tech savvy because they could hook up a VCR in 1983 and schedule recording their favorite TV shows. Meanwhile, they're emailing screenshots of their desktop to customer service. And it's not even that they can't learn. It's that they won't admit that they need help. And if you suggest otherwise, they get defensive and fast. You might hear lines like, "You're treating me like I'm senile." Kind of defensive. No, Barbara, I just want you to stop installing malware on your workstation. No will, no plan, no clue. Baby boomers love stuff. They've got attics and garages and basements and storage units full of stuff. But you know what they don't have? A will or an estate plan. They don't have anything written down. 64% of baby boomers have no estate plan or end-of-life plan as of the recording of this video in 2025. What happens when they're gone? And when they do go? Look, sorry, but it's coming. You're looking at a nightmare. Probate court, family feuds, step siblings fighting over heirlooms. I certainly hope you have 20 to 30 grand laying around, because that's what it's going to cost you to try to sort out the mess after the baby boomers pass intestate. But hey, they always meant to get around to it. So Gen X, what's our next move when we get to that point? Let's make sure our paperwork is in order. If you're in Generation X, you should have at least some kind of estate plan worked out. Something should be written down, some kind of estate plan. You should have a will. You should have a, what do they call it? Power of attorney. You should have a power of attorney for medical care and a power of attorney for your finances set up. This is important. Me, I've already downsized. I rent my apartment. I don't have a big house to take care of anymore. I wouldn't mind moving into a senior community or an assisted living community when the time comes. I'm mentally and financially prepared to do so. I have a power of attorney. I have a will. I have an estate plan. All of this has been done. My parents, not so much. My parents are baby boomers, by the way. My own mother, who's still living, refuses to go and talk to a lawyer. She says, "Oh, it's too much trouble. I don't want to do it." And I'm like, for who? Anyway, so what's my plan? My plan is to stay as healthy as long as I can. And then when I do get too sick, I want to die fast. Because I've seen what happens when people linger. Years, and sometimes even decades, of 24/7 care. Watching people mourn my demise around me for years before I go doesn't really fill my heart with glee either. When I go, I want people to actually feel sad. I don't want them to be relieved that finally this burden is off my plate now. I guess here's the whole point of this video is Generation X, let's not be the cautionary tale. The boomers didn't plan. The boomers didn't pass the torch. They thought aging was something that happened to other people. And we, Gen X and their millennial children, are the ones who are learning, watching, and we're taking notes. Let's not repeat their mistakes. Let's do what they refuse to. Make a plan. Have the conversation. Plan for end of life. Have a medical power of attorney. Have a will. Have an estate plan. Set up trusts. And for God's sakes, don't die intestate with a garage full of junk and no instructions about what to do. Now go out and do your damn paperwork. Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, go ahead and click the like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.